This is a Danger Entertainment podcast. DangerEntertainment.net. Danger Entertainment Podcast Network.
Please note that any comments, jokes, questions, maybe, anything that we say on the history of bad ideas is all in good fun. And remember, we insult everybody. Our thoughts, opinions, questions, anything else, actions that we do on the show do not reflect any of our employers, organizations, advertisers, or anyone else that is associated with the history of bad ideas. And remember, at the end of the day, it's just a joke.
It's about comic books and movies, growing up with Rokusuki. Superman before Zack Snyder ruined him. Michael Keaton was the best Batman, while Christian Bale was just deadpan. No one remembers the other ones. Princess Leia in bikinis and Transformer Lamborghinis. Please don't let Shia LaBeouf ever act again.
Please, God, no.
Remembering Tales from the Crypt, back when Michael Bay wrote good scripts.
He wrote
And all right here is no mystery, 'cause it's the history of bad.
It's bad.
It's the history of bad.
So bad.
It's the history of bad ideas. It's the history of bad.
It's bad.
It's the history of bad.
So bad.
It's the history of bad ideas.
Podcast.
Welcome to the History of Bad Ideas, episode number 251. I'm Jason.
I'm Jeff. I am the Saudi Arabian Blech. Nothing to see here.
You kind of look like a body double. Of
I
Blake.
am Blech.
You look bald.
I'm Blech.
How's your shoe size?
I am wearing Nike.
I think you came in here with Converse.
I'm Blech.
And I'm Jim, I guess.
Unfortunately, Leah Remney is not here this week.
We fired her.
She got fired.
Kevin James didn't want her on the show.
Yes. I'm Kevin James. Hi, I'm Kevin James. How's it going? I got my mask on. Hi, I'm Kevin James.
And the Scientologist got to us.
Allegedly, nope.
Oh my goodness, that was so real. You fooled me, silly Jason. Ha 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 ha. I am Blech.
I doubt you are, Blake. Blake wouldn't find anything Jason did silly or funny.
I mean, suck it, Jason.
Yeah, that's Blake.
Well,
Nobody just ignores everything Jason does.
the good news is the 1990s have finally hit them in the Middle East, so we're good now.
They got their Converse All-Stars.
That's right. And suck it. Suck it, Trebek. So we got title of the show. We don't even need to do an addendum. I am Blake. Okay, we got
I am
that.
Saudi.
No, I am Blech.
B-L-E-C.
Okay, moving on. Welcome, everybody. Blech is here this week.
If I'm not here next week, it's because the Saudi Arabian intelligence agency has murdered me. Please come look for me.
Allegedly.
Well,
Trump said, what did Jim, you were talking before the show went on the air? Trump said it was a great cover-up?
Or he said that this is the worst cover-up in the history of cover-ups.
It was not good. And WWE has a show there in 2 weeks. Allegedly. Because as of tomorrow, they're probably moving it. So we'll see how that goes. After being paid $20 million, total of $200 million over 10 years is the rumor, they said, oh, maybe this was not such a good deal.
Yeah, well, that's before Saudi Arabia decided that killing Americans was a good idea.
Yeah, the other rumor was that they were getting $100 million per show. So that was, which wouldn't surprise me. So, yeah, WWE, your call. Even John Cena stepped out and said, I'm not going. And the rumor is Daniel Bryan is probably not going either. Which is a problem because he has a title match. So,
I'm not going.
Jim, would you go if you got a title match against AJ Styles?
I'd probably win.
I don't know. AJ's pretty damn good.
I'm good.
You are good.
I would probably still have to decline.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. On the negative side, sad news, Roman Reigns was diagnosed with leukemia. Actually, he wasn't diagnosed. It came back.
Yeah, it's 11-year battle with it, which might actually, the way that he's been used in wrestling, it might actually explain a lot on fun. They said other flare-ups or other coming back on some absences when he was gone, and it kind of makes sense. It's sad.
How do you know if it's real?
It is. Stop
How do
it.
you know?
Because he had it.
Why?
He had a. Shut up. Don't be the trolls on Twitter.
I'm not being a troll. I want to know the truth because all wrestling is fake. How do you know this is real?
It's
You can
fake,
tell
it's
what's real and what's fake, unless you're a complete moron.
Well, it is Blech. Hello, Blech.
It is real, I tell you.
Yeah, he came out and relinquished his his title last night. I can't stand the Roman Reigns character. They pushed him to no end. He's a horrible character because he has no development. But as a person, that is awful. And everybody says Roman Reigns behind the scenes. Joe Anoita, I think his name is Anoita. He's part of the Samoan tribe with The Rock and all of them. They said everything about him is he's a generally nice guy.
I mean, he has nothing to do with, like, ancient Rome?
No, he does not. Like the Samoans?
No.
What are you talking about?
His name is Roman.
Oh,
Reigns.
shut up.
Roman Reigns.
That is the Reigns Empire. They did call it that.
I saw somebody tweet out that leukemia did what Vince McMahon couldn't do, made the fans like Roman Reigns.
Yes. Okay, so the cynical part of me last night was watching this going, oh my God, this is, I feel so bad for him. You don't want that on anybody, except maybe, Richard Spencer. Anyways, but...
No, I thought you were going to say Roman Reigns.
No.
I've heard you complain about him for years now.
But as a person, no. And so I'm watching this, I'm going, oh God, this is bad. And then the fans were cheering, thank you, Roman. And I'm like, well, when he comes back, he's going to be the most over guy you ever get. So good for that. And then the best part of it last night, they still had the balls to go through with it because the Shield hug. Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins wrestle in the tag team championship in the main event. They win the belts, and Dean Ambrose turns on Seth Rollins, and the fans were going to storm the arena. Of all the nights to do it, I'm like, you had the balls to do it. Congratulations, WWE writers, for once you hit it right. But yeah, so that sucks with Reigns. But yeah, so there you go. So now they're scrambling.
Why did he turn on him? What was the point of it?
The whole thing was that Dean Ambrose is the weak link, is what they keep trying to preach out there. Dolph Ziggler, friend of Jim, he said that.
I mean, I thought you meant Dirk Diggler.
No, Dolph Ziggler. Drew McIntyre, even Braun Strowman was saying that Dean was the weak link. And because he never could get enough championships, like he didn't hold them long enough, blah, 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 all that stuff. And so he finally, I think he turned on Rollins before Rollins could turn on him because last time Rollins turned. So I loved it. I thought it was great. I thought those fans were going to jump after they were shocked, I thought they were going to
But does that really advance the story if they're the champion, the tag team champions?
I'm fine. Vacate the titles and give it to the Revival or Authors of Pain. Anybody. Welcome to Wrestling Talk on Hobie.
You mean
I don't know, it just sounds like a
product,
terrible
Dean Ambrose.
story to me.
What's that?
Local product, Dean Ambrose.
From Cincinnati, Ohio. Blech, you okay over there?
I'm trying to get the Pez that flip behind my head.
I think you're going to flip the chair over.
Yeah, I know.
That's because Black doesn't know how these American chairs work.
Or Pez. He doesn't know how to eat Pez.
It's European
I
Pez,
like
though.
the Pez.
I really like your shoes. Really like them. So yeah, that's my down for the week. Jim, you got anything? Got any downs or ups? Anything going on?
I want to celebrate my first win in fantasy hockey this year.
Boo.
I beat Jeff.
Who hasn't?
You?
Yeah, I know.
I am almost to your win total from last year.
3?
Yes.
Yep. I surpassed my win total by week 2. Or 3, sorry, 3.
And I am not in last place.
That's a good sign.
Thank you, Mike Whitey, for not winning a game yet.
That's good.
And I don't have any ties.
Oh.
We were talking about how people hate ties, and there are 3 divisions in our hockey league.
12 teams.
12 teams, and 8 teams, 2 complete divisions don't have ties.
That's pretty impressive.
The other division, they have like 3 and 2 and 2.
Well, we kept tying each other.
To be fair, they get points for that.
Yes.
So it does count. It's like soccer. I love ties in soccer. Nothing's better. Speaking of that, FC Cincinnati won a playoff game.
They did not win. They drew, but advanced on PKs.
My bad. That is true.
That's not considered a win.
It's a draw and win advance on PKs.
Technically.
See, and this is where FIFA should take an idea from me to find out how really good your club is that after you end regulation, none of your starters can play anymore. You have to put in your entire bench
That would
the
be
next two
interesting.
15-minute quarters. I guarantee you there'll be goals.
They only have like 6 people then.
Well, you have to expand the bench roster.
I think you could probably make it like hockey and do 3-on-3.
Yeah.
Keep the field the same size. Make it 3-on-3. I want to see
Maybe
them go-
5-on-5.
No, 3-on-3. That's the way soccer should be played.
And maybe take a volunteer from the audience
For
each
goalies?
team.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
goalies.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that idea. Or Tony Miola, because I'm sure he's available.
You don't have to give him gear. Just give him a large tower shield and crampons.
Okay, so I think that what happens if you do 3-on-3 but only one goalie, impartial one, so the other team, if they shoot and get blocked, they have to go all the way down to the field to the other goal, roll it back around like in basketball, and come back down.
No, that would be stupid.
It's too complicated.
Sorry.
Jason.
Okay, so 3-on-3.
Yeah.
Okay,
With-
I like it.
A person from the stands wearing crampons
Okay.
with a tower shield.
I'm going yes.
With no cutout visor, so it's completely blind.
Is the tower shield like a really tall shield?
If you play D&D, Jason, you know what I'm talking about.
I know what a tower shield is.
So do I.
There you go. Our SAT scores are higher.
I'm watching Riverdale, and
Our
they're
SAT scores are definitely higher.
And throwing the ACT on that.
My ACT score is higher than his SAT score.
I got a 20 on the SAT.
Yeah, do you know what a portcullis is?
Yeah, it's what they used to make in the 1800s down in Cincinnati. That's why we were called Porkopolis.
Yeah, you're so right. There you go.
I win. I win.
No.
No one wins. We all lose.
I hate you guys.
Okay, we can get back to FCC winning or advancing in the playoffs, and people claiming that they broke the 28-year drought of Cincinnati teams winning in the playoffs.
Which is not true because the Cincinnati Cyclones were 2-time Kelly Cup champions, baby.
Yes. And if
Yeah.
you're going to count minor league soccer, you have to count minor league hockey.
Exactly.
And what they also don't realize is the Reds won a postseason series in '95, so it's only 23 years.
Yeah.
Idiots.
And they won games 4 years ago.
And the Bengals won.
They didn't win the series, but they won. Was that 5 years? 5 years ago.
5 years ago.
And the Bengals won a playoff. No, never mind.
How many
Mid-90s.
years in Bengal time is that? That's 90?
28 years.
Yeah. On the
There you go.
positive, the Bengals looked really good on Sunday Night Football.
It looked fantastic.
Yeah, they did. Patrick Mahomes.
And then the game started.
Oh, yeah.
The best is Patrick Mahomes got me very many points in fantasy football. So I'm
Problem was
happy.
he didn't get me enough to win, so it was even worse.
Does Andy Dalton only throw to A.J. Green?
Do they have anyone else?
Because I only watched the game for 15 minutes, and every pass attempt was to A.J. Green.
On Sunday it was pretty much, but this season AJ hasn't been getting a whole lot.
Congratulations, Blech on Cleveland. Losing another overtime game.
Fourth overtime game of the season.
59-yard field goal. How does that happen?
After he missed an extra point early in the game.
Because it's Browns.
How does it happen? The guy kicks the ball and it travels for
Thank you.
59 yards through the upright.
The sad thing is you're only two and a half games out first.
The guy's longest field goal of the year was like 35.
Yes. But then it was the Browns.
Well, how many misses? I mean, that's what people are like, oh,
Yeah.
it's like, he could possibly can hit a 60-yarder, but they never try it.
His career long is like, what was like 58.
Yeah, I mean, that kick actually looked like it cleared from like 64.
Yeah, it's not like he's just started kicking last year.
And it wasn't straight. It was a curve. He bent it like Beckham in between. I'm like, as soon as it goes
I got
up,
that
I'm like,
reference.
there we go. It's like, oh, shit. What the? I'm
That
like,
was a good movie.
No.
Keira Knightley was in it. Let's see here. Took the kids to Books by the Banks. It was a free thing by the library in Cincinnati. Not to go local here, but Duke Energy Convention Center, where Cincinnati Comic Expo is September 20th through 22nd of 2019.
cheap plug.
Thank you. They had a lot of science experiments that kids can do and stem cell. I'm trained. It's not legal anywhere else, but they can do it. The law is that if you're under 18, you can practice stem cell research, but above 18, you can't.
So did it make a Shakey's Pizza?
What?
Didn't get the
South Park joke.
South Park.
I was thinking more Family Guy. Why are we not funding this? When he gets healed.
Stroke.
Stop making fun of me.
Stop taunting me.
So anyways, we did that, but it was also like a giant book sale, new books. They had all these authors there, local and national, and a lot of kids areas, but it was a really neat thing to do.
I have a question.
Was Scab Jeff there?
No, he was not.
I
was looking for him.
What banks were these books by?
There's banks, right, like actual banks by the a convention center.
Like, a Fifth Third or a PNC Bank?
Well, I think in the springtime they actually have it on the banks.
Okay.
I think.
Of the river.
Of the river. But in the winter and fall time, they decide to go
They need
inside.
to change the name then.
It's by the banks.
Oh, the bank's family does the books.
Shut up. Anyways.
How many books do they burn?
451. But anyway.
I get that reference.
But it was a really cool thing. We got down there, spent a lot of money on books, but everybody signed it. So it was really, or anybody, if you buy a book, the author signs it right there.
I'm about to say I can sign your books if you want me to. If you need
But
your
it was a
book
neat little
signed.
thing. They had adult books. They had not.
Also, Penthouse was represented.
I'm about to say adult books should be the title of our episode.
The downtown Penthouse.
Right next to Fame Manor of Cincinnati Zoo fame, and he's on. He's been on talk shows now with the animals. Stormy Daniels was right next to him, so it worked out well. So
Did you get a lap dance?
yeah, from Fame Manor. He was really high. He's like, "How do you like it?" I'm Fiona the hippo. Yeah.
So talking about signing books, I saw on Twitter that
So
Neil
Storm was doing Harambe?
that Neil Gaiman was in an airport and was at the bookstore in the airport and found two. There's only two of his books there. So what does he obviously do every time he goes? He signs them discreetly and puts it back on the shelf.
Yeah.
So if you go to a bookstore and you see Neil Gaiman book and it's a signature, he probably did it.
That's awesome.
Oh, he does that at all the airports.
Yeah.
He signs books.
It's a neat little thing, though. We've never done it. We wanted to do something fun with the kids. We were actually down there for about 4.5 hours. The science stuff was really cool. But yeah, it was just kind of neat. And then, like I said, seeing all the books and that, I mean, it was a pretty good haul. But I was looking for Scab Jeff. He was not there. Because I had to give a floppy to someone else.
He might have been wanting. He should have went down and had his book available.
He should have just stood outside the convention
Exactly. And he forced it on people.
Did your son ask how to scroll up or down
No, he actually reads books.
on the book pages? Oh, he does?
Yeah, we don't have an iPad.
Okay,
He
good
actually
job.
he reads books. His whole room, his bookcase is filled with
Right.
books.
Nothing smells better than a book.
I do.
Well, there are a few
farts.
things, but,
I pay.
your iPad doesn't,
Never mind. It's easier to get porn on the iPad.
Depending on the book.
Unless you go into the woods. Jim, I heard you watched The Rookie.
in the future, they're going to hide iPad porn in tree stumps,
Virtual trees.
in Ziploc bags.
Would you like to look at porn? Yes. Would you like the tree app? Yes.
I found all Dan's old porn.
Gentlemen, are you trying to hide your porn stash on your iPad from your wife? Get the tree app.
Copyrighted.
Shield your kids. Hide it from your wife. Save your marriage.
The tree app.
The tree app.
For authentic, every time you turn a page. When you scroll the page.
And then the pictures randomly rip in places.
I only saw one boob.
Avoid those problems for an additional $5.99 a month.
Would you?
Treeapp.com.
Upgrade Tree App Plus.
Do you like the old school version of the women? With the Photoshop expert, you can put more bushes in it. It's a $2.99 download. Bush app.
You just hit a button and go,
Wow. Wow. Moving on.
Yes, I did watch The Rookie.
How was it?
I enjoyed it. I know Jeff's going to argue that he can't. It's so unbelievable to him that Nathan
so
Fillion
unbelievable.
playing a 40-year-old.
You know, I kind of like the twist of who he's dating at the end. I was not expecting that.
Is it a guy?
Yeah, it's a guy.
It's the captain.
I like the 3 rookies. I like Nathan Fillion. I like the other 2 as well in it.
Yeah.
And the problem I have is the captain is too forced. Him trying to get him off the force too much. I know you got to make, some conflict in that. Mm-hmm. I didn't like it. I thought he was forced. And my wife was like, no, that's the only bad part about it.
Well, we'll see how he overcomes adversity in this next episode.
I did like the when he's pursuing. He's an LA cop, 40 years old, decides to become a cop in LA of all places. He moves from what, Minnesota or something?
Pennsylvania.
Okay. Well, I guess I would.
Well, I wouldn't move out of Pennsylvania.
Yeah, good call.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Amish crime out there. You don't want to stay there.
Amish on Amish crime.
That's right. But he had the cop cam.
Body cam.
Body cam. I thought that was kind of cool how they showed that.
When he's running, they actually go to the body cam and show what the...
I thought that was a different perspective. I enjoyed it. It was something that you can watch. You don't have to think too hard about, but it's still good.
Yeah.
Still good. I like how I got caught in the fence.
Yeah, and then they showed the body cam to the rest of the
He tried to do a shortcut and go through a fence and got stuck.
and so it was like a chain shut, the gate, and he's trying to get through it, and he got stuck, and then the other cop walks over and just unlatches it.
I did like that the one cop, his wife was basically a meth head that left him. And it's like, ooh, that was it. I was thinking, okay, sister. So no, that's my wife.
That's my wife. Yeah.
Ooh. I enjoyed it though. I definitely would. I gave up on Manifest. I gave up on.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't trust NBC to continue making good quality show on this one. Okay. And I got through 2 episodes. I didn't even do the 3. I was like, it's not horrible. Don't get me wrong. I don't like the conspiracy. I don't know. Sister Pam, I think, actually said something today that she thinks it's going to be aliens that were responsible. And I go,
aliens?
Always aliens. And that's the gif I sent back to her. Let's see. What's the other ones? I did watch 3 episodes, I think, of The Neighborhood. Not bad. It's enjoyable. I can't believe I said that about Cedric the Entertainer, but it's enjoyable.
So they've moved away from racial stereotypes?
Yeah, they do a couple jokes here and there, low-hanging fruit. But it's actually enjoyable. It wasn't bad. Max Greenberg, is it?
Field.
Oh, my God. He is horrible. He is a horrible, annoying character.
That's every
and
character
you like
he wasn't annoyable. He wasn't annoying in Veronica Mars.
I never saw that.
It's not my fault.
Okay, well, I'm just telling you. But it's enjoyable. It's nothing great, but it's enjoyable. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that we watched.
I did watch the 3rd episode of Single Parents.
Yes.
And it's not as bad as you brought it out to be.
Okay. Maybe it got better. Mm-hmm. The pilot was the worst piece of trash I've seen.
The kids are funny.
I will agree with you on that.
And the woman wanting to get her...
Vagina?
No.
Son laid? Daughter pregnant?
Colonoscopy. That was kind of amusing when she was...
I like Brad Garrett in a lot of that stuff because he's pretty funny with it. But I may go back to it, but I don't know. I did watch 5 minutes of Murphy Brown. Oh, my God.
You made it more than most people.
That might have been the worst. Next to single... Okay, that was worse than the Single Parents.
Wow.
It was... She was in the bar, and she's sitting there telling her liberal side of the view, and there was a journalist telling his conservative side of the view, and they just went back and forth mocking each other. And it was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
That's actual real politics today.
And it's the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
Did her face move when she talked?
I think so. She did the typical look.
Ooh.
Did she?
Her mouth moves, but the face doesn't move.
Yeah,
she's had so much Botox and whatever.
Allegedly. You don't know that.
Yeah.
Her facial expression is better than John Travolta's. Whoa. Kim Olajuwon is going to sing the next song? Nope, that's wrong, John. Wrong name. But yeah, Jeff, you are correct. That is a horrible. The 5 minutes I saw, my wife's like, "Can we please turn this?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm sorry about that."
I didn't even see that episode because I think that was the 4th episode.
Yeah,
and we stopped at 3.
Oh my god, it's so bad. All American. I've only gotten through one episode of that. I gotta watch the next ones.
Saw the commercials for that after you talked about it this past week. Doesn't look good.
It doesn't matter. It's probably going to be canceled. The ratings are pretty low.
It looked pretty bad.
Yeah, they said that one's pretty low. And I'm trying to think what the other one was that. Single parent. Not single parents, because that got picked up for 22 episodes. I Feel Bad. Did you guys see that?
Oh, is that the Amy Poehler produced one?
Produced one.
No, I didn't watch that at all.
I didn't either. That got really bad or really low ratings. They said it will not be back. So, is anybody watching Superstore?
Yeah.
Do you like it?
Yeah.
I love that show. The one when they were trying to talk about, I think we talked about this off air when they were talking about Amy and Jonah's sex life. And if you got any questions, just go ahead and say it. They had a conference. My wife used to work in HR, and she said this would not be a good thing for HR at a company.
Oh, no, that wasn't HR. That was the inept store manager trying to fix problems.
So, Blake, anything with you?
Steve?
The pirate? No. Blake, what you got?
I watched Walking Dead and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
How's Walking Dead? I'm caught up.
It's getting there.
Are you bored by it?
Yeah, I don't say bored. They're spending a lot of time setting up.
Are you
Rick's
just ready
death.
for Rick to die? Just die already?
Yeah, well, they've gone now for 4 or 5 episodes of his, world vision. And
This is third episode.
Oh, well, it seemed like 5 episodes of, how he's trying, we need to change, worlds for the dead, every life counts, every life counts, every life counts. And, they're hammering that to death.
The problem is that you can't get behind Maggie that much because she's leaving the show too.
Maggie's character is, Maggie's character is kind of interesting. I do like her. I do like kind of the spin that they threw on there of who was actually murdering some of the saviors. And it was the
Oceanside.
The Oceanside people, and they're like, you did what you did, and we saw that was possible to do. When she offed Gregory, and for a moment she's like, I did that. I was responsible for that, and then she's like, yeah, okay, do what you want. And then she's like, now we got to go kill Negan.
Yeah, because the saviors
it was almost a too easy transition. But you got 2 episodes to kill Rick. So
yeah. Do you think he dies?
Who?
Rick?
I don't know. I can see him going one of 2 ways. He dies a tragic death, believing that every life matters, and it's probably going to be somebody that he knows that ends up killing him by accident.
I hope it's Glenn.
Yeah, or Zombie Glenn. Yeah, Zombie Glenn. Or it's going to be one of those flash forward things where he's on his deathbed and everybody's old around him, and you just see him, whatever, and that way they can avoid a lot of whatever in between.
I think if I had to guess, I would think the trash lady with the helicopter. I've read the book, so I know where they're going with it. If they go with that, with the A and the B type of people, they're trying to grade people if they're an A quality or B quality.
Yeah.
But
USDA?
Yes.
Yeah. Are you grade A or grade B?
I think the people in the helicopter are going to kidnap Rick. And I think that's how you're never going to see him again.
Well, because they're asking for, sacrifices or something. It's kind of weird, so...
Yeah.
And like I said, I've never read the graphic novel, so I don't know where it's going.
The graphic novels are decent.
Yeah.
The problem is you're getting to this big world now, and there's a lot of characters.
Yeah.
And it's tough to give them all enough, because you only got 26 pages on a comic book. And so it's tough to put this whole world in that thing. It's not bad, but the way they open it up even more kind of gets a little...
It's almost where after Rick and everything, they can go into a Fear the Walking Dead tangents. Maybe they can just follow certain characters for a season and move on and do different stories. And
it doesn't matter. You're going to get another Walking Dead series.
Yeah, probably.
They're going to add another one.
Yeah,
they're looking to it.
Oh, it's going to be like a Law and Order?
Yeah.
Great.
Walking Dead Chicago.
Walking Dead Chicago.
Walking Dead Toledo.
Yeah.
Walking Dead
Walking
Anchorage.
Dead Special
Walking
Zombie
Dead,
Unit.
yeah.
That's
Stole that joke right out of my mouth.
That's CSI, not Law and Order.
Sorry, my bad. My bad.
Yeah.
Or NCIS.
How did he turn into a zombie? I don't know. We gotta study it.
But It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia was pretty funny this week. They actually did The Gang Does a Clip episode.
I heard about
So
this.
it starts with clips. And then it goes into them remembering, from the contest of Seinfeld.
The masturbation
We're
one,
both,
yep.
Yeah, we're both Dennis and Mac are playing, Seinfeld at the same time. But everybody, they're like, no, that wasn't us. That was Seinfeld. and then it starts going into, they make, how they always make statements with their shows. Mm-hmm. And then they start going into remembrance of clips of their show. But they're like, no, that's not how it happened. That's how you thought it happened. And so it goes into this is how I remember things. This is how you remember things. It gets all crazy. And then it just spirals into, oh my God, what reality are we in? I don't know whose memory we're in. It goes pretty funny from there.
Up Rocks did a great job of doing a side-by-side of the true Seinfeld episode of the contest and Sunny in Philadelphia. Yeah. And even their hairstyles and everything.
Everything. The clothes. Yeah,
yes.
Everything was awesome.
Yes.
I loved it.
Charlie, I'm out!
Yeah.
I just see that.
It was great. It was pretty funny.
I saw Halloween, the movie, the new one.
Okay.
I enjoyed it.
Good.
Reviews up on nerdly.co.uk. I enjoyed it a lot.
Good day, mate.
If you like the original, you'll like this one. So,
What if you don't like the original?
well, you probably won't like this one.
Okay.
And I don't like you,
Okay.
Jeff.
He didn't say he didn't like the original. He just asked.
He
Well,
implied.
hold on now a second. Now, is this
I never saw it.
is
so.
this right? Because you have the original Halloween with Jamie Lee Curtis, right?
Yeah.
And you got the doctor who's dead.
Loomis. He's dead, yeah.
So
What?
my question is, you've had all this
In real
other
life.
Hollywood buffer shit in
Yeah.
between. Is this Halloween an actual sequel to the original Halloween,
Yes.
ignoring everything else in between?
They cut out every other sequel.
All right, but Michael, if I remember, just ran off into the darkness at the end of the original Halloween.
I don't like you guys. I'm running away. Nobody wants to murder with me.
Yeah, he fell out the window and he's dead. They're like, oh, thank God. And then they look out and they're like, oh, shit.
He was locked in an asylum.
Dr. Loomis caught him. They locked him inside. I like it
Okay.
because Jamie Lee Curtis is 40 years later, and she basically is
It's 40 years older.
Yes, and is a doomsday prepper. And she has this cabin in the woods, and she set it up to basically train herself to kill
Definitely
Michael
going to
Myers.
get a horror movie if you have a cabin in the woods.
the
Does
funny
this sound
part-
like a Terminator spinoff?
Well, the funny part is this. So, we're going to basically the state studied Michael Myers for 40 years, and they realize he never talks, and they really can't get anything out of him. So, after 40 years, they decide to move him the night before Halloween
Of course.
on a bus with other psychologically impaired criminals.
And they all have...
A wreck.
Well, it was caused by the creeper.
From Jeepers Creepers? Yes, that's right. What is that thing jumping? So there were some bad decisions. Like, there's a dad and a son
Do
going...
they all have... And they all crash and they all have William Shatner masks?
No.
And they all run out?
That was funny.
That is funny that the Michael Myers mask is Captain Kirk.
Yes.
I will say it is...
Bleached.
Yes.
Okay.
It is very true to the original. It does feel like it's a horror movie from the early 80s. I really liked that. It wasn't... There were some jump scares in that, but it was a very good Halloween sequel. Like, if you just saw the first one, and then you put this one, and you're like, yeah, I could see this being, direct, sequel. No other crap happened.
Oh,
Season
cool.
of the Witch. If you like the original, you like horror movie, the old school horror movies, I think it was a good one. And Jamie Lee Curtis is awesome, and Judy Greer's in it. I didn't realize that.
Season of Which could have happened. Because
True.
it had nothing to do with the Mike Myers story.
Let's never talk about that again.
Well, my big announcement is this, I think, is going to be my last episode.
Why?
Because tonight, I'm going to win the Powerball. I'm sorry, the Mega Millions. And never see you guys again.
You would do that to us?
Maybe.
Could you build a better studio?
Yeah, I'll let you get a studio. I'll pay for your studio before I leave.
Okay.
Awesome.
I'll still be here.
If I won, I was going to buy some land, build some houses. You guys could move into your own houses, not by me, and we'll have a studio in the middle. Black, you can move in.
But your house would be a tiny house.
But I don't know. Jason's plane sounds like a cult thing. I don't. Do you actually scares me?
Talk about for a cult, I would actually have to talk to you.
Well, wait a minute. Hold on.
Jeff know that I don't talk to people.
Wait a minute. Hold on. How many hot wives am I allowed to have?
I don't care.
All
7.
right, I'm in. Sign me up.
As many as you want.
As many as you want, Blech.
I like your cult.
With that type of money, yeah, you can have as many as you want.
I told my coworkers that I would pay one of my friends to come in and get all my stuff from my desk tomorrow. You would never see me again. See ya. I'm out. I would buy Montana. I'm out.
Can you get Montana for $1.6 billion?
Oh, I think you could.
I'd pick up your stuff for you.
Thanks. I'll pay you $100.
Okay.
Good. And then we get new mics, new studio, get everything done. Just let you guys know. So, let's see. We had a Twitter poll of the week. Since Luke Cage and Iron Fist got canceled, what new Marvel character would you like to see get their own series? You can vote at Bad Ideas Podcast on Twitter. Not on this poll, but every week we have a poll of the week. Options were Moon Knight, Heroes for Hire, which is Iron Fist and Luke Cage, Power Man, She-Hulk, and Wonder Man. In last place, 6% of the vote, Wonder Man. It's very disappointing in that.
I think a lot of people don't even know who Wonder Man is.
I was looking online to see what the options were, like what people wanted, and Wonder Man was one of the options, like that, somewhat popular.
Is this like the only male Amazon?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, no, not even close.
No, he's a Hollywood stunt actor.
Oh.
And then he has powers. I don't even know his full story.
Well, we've been, switching genders in all these movies. I thought this guy was the answer to Wonder Woman.
No. This is
He
all
wears
Marvel.
boxer shorts with blue and white stars on them.
That would be cool.
10% said She-Hulk. I actually think She-Hulk would be fun for a TV series, a Netflix series.
I could see that being on Netflix.
Nah.
19% had Hers for Hire.
That's what I voted for.
And 65% said Moon Knight. And we got a decent amount of votes on this one. People really love Moon Knight.
I really love his snacks. It doesn't
That's
surprise
moon
me.
pie.
That's what I'm saying. Moon pies are awesome.
That's right. He is Marvel's version. He just throws moon pies at people. That's right. You know what? I'm not going to capture you. I'm just going to give you diabetes. Here, take it. Eat.
Chocolate-covered styrofoam.
Yeah.
With some cardboard.
Moon pies are awful. They are awful.
I still like them.
The oatmeal cream cakes are okay.
They're
I like
not
those.
moon pies.
I know. I'm just giving you like other versions of it. Shut the
See, I just don't understand you how you can't even like moon pies.
Moon pies are awful.
Your taste buds are just so askew.
Does Marvel have a Little Debbie?
They should.
Moon Knight and Little Debbie.
Moon pie and Little Debbie.
I saw somebody created a box of Little Dahmer.
No.
There's a little finger.
Lady fingers?
No, they were, instead of cinnamon buns, they were skin of some man buns.
Don't ask for the wieners.
You can send your complaints to Jim at Graphic Novice. You can find us on Twitter at Bad Ideas Podcast. On Facebook, give us a like. History of Bad Ideas. We update with a lot of news articles.
Or give us a hate. We don't care.
We don't care. Give us reviews at iTunes. We'd appreciate it. And we're on Spotify, Geek Life Radio, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central every Friday. We Be Geeks PC, Mole Radio. We're pretty much on everything. Danger Entertainment and Tangent Bound Network.
Speaking of Graphic Novice,
Yes.
I saw he tweeted earlier this evening.
Uh-huh.
He's alive?
Officially, they are just on hiatus.
Anyway, so I believe it when I see it.
It's on Twitter. That's what he said.
I
We
thought
are on
he said
hiatus.
he was just high on cannabis.
Oh, no.
That might have been what he meant.
That's later in the listener feedback. So just to let you know. They said Luke Cage and Iron Fist. The reason why their Netflix is not renewing them is because Marvel is asking for a whole lot more money for their rights now. For every season.
See, how can Marvel be asking for more money? Don't they have a deal?
I think there was this deal was only for the first season of 4 shows.
That's how drug dealers work. They give you a little bit, you get hooked, and then they want more.
So Netflix is saying, screw you, because Marvel wants the rights back so they can do Disney. So you'll be on the Disney streaming service.
Damn Disney.
Yeah. So, be
Well, that's
interesting.
Netflix's fault for not signing an exclusive. We have the rights for as long as we
That was the
produce
article
shows.
today, that it was too much. So, let's do some listener feedback. Blake, what do you got here?
That is my chicken wing stained listener feedback. Sponsored by you. That's right. For a good bribe, send it to Jason, Blake, or Hobie, or Jason, or Jeff.
I'm Jason. You said Jason twice.
Jeff, Jim.
That's Jim.
That's me.
Send a bribe in, and we will read your sponsorship of listener feedback.
Oh.
I will read the copy that you send.
So, if you got a bribe, hit us up on Twitter. Direct message.
We work for Pez, too.
We do. Who do you want to sponsor us next week?
You.
What else we got?
So, brought to us by you. We start off with Doug,
Number 1 fan.
Can't give yourself a nickname.
formerly known as.
8 fans.
7.
7.
He says, regarding Carol Spinney retiring, a fun fact.
Who is Carol Spinney?
He cut out the whole 3 paragraphs here about NASA talking to Sesame Street of Carol Spinney, who is the extra tall chick and the big chick on Sesame Street. The big bird.
Man.
Carol Spinney's a guy.
Okay, that dude. The tall
Played Big
guy
Bird.
that played Big Bird.
For 50 years.
Yeah, for 50 years.
Just talk about the last part.
All right, here, hold on. Let me put on my spectacles.
The last part. In 2015.
Approved.
No, keep going.
Oh, says, all right, so Spinney openly discussed the episode for decades in 2015 where NASA released an official statement on the matter confirming a review of the past documentation shows there were initial conversations with Sesame Street regarding their potential participation on a Challenger flight, but that plan was never approved.
In summary, Big Bird was going to go on the Challenger
Yes.
spaceship.
Kind of like how they did with the teacher,
Yes.
the McAuliffe. Mm-hmm. And
The
we
Challenger
all know
blew
how
up.
that horrible
Yes.
public relations stunt turned out.
Yes. So, so that was interesting. Could you imagine? Oh, Big Bird's on the flight. Look, he's going. Oh my
Can
God!
you imagine the children? Because you imagine all the children that would be watching.
Yes.
And if I were NASA, I would have to have Spinney wearing his Big Bird costume
On
as he went into space on launch.
Yeah, you would be true. That would be true.
That's right, and
Oh, my
there's
God.
dangers of putting astronauts on the Challenger because I believe the last transmission was McAuliffe asking, "What does this button do?"
Oh, too soon.
It's been 20 plus years.
Too soon.
Remember, you can sponsor our listener feedback.
Send to Blake at Graphic Novice for any any upset emails. Go ahead, Blake. You have no soul.
That's Doug's fault. All right, next one from Besotted Geek and Besotted Geek Pod. Trump, the Supreme Leader,
That's right.
defends his stance on climate change by stating, "I can't do Trump." Jason, can you do Trump?
Oh, I got a natural instinct for science.
No, he can't do Trump.
Actually, that was really good, Jason. I think you should do that again in the future.
Thanks, Black.
You're welcome. So he says Trump defends his stance on climate change by stating, "I have a natural instinct for science." What do each of you have a natural instinct for?
Making apps to cover up porn. And
Sponsored by the
made
Tree
that up.
app.
And
Yes.
I actually have a natural instinct to make apps. I create a printer. I create a tree, and created the online app for the tree app, Bush. So I'm doing pretty good. Jeff, what you got a natural instinct for?
That wasn't an app. That was an add-on.
Sorry, whatever it is.
Self-preservation.
How I don't know, but you do have it,
Avoid everything.
except cholesterol.
He's covered in bubble wrap right now.
Or Furbies.
Jim, what's your natural instinct for?
Being a troll.
Okay.
Internet troll.
Oh, I thought you meant like a troll under the bridge.
No. I moved from underneath the bridge to online.
What are you going to do with all the billy goats?
They're tasty.
Oh, okay.
Billy goat jerky.
Blake, what's your natural instinct?
Well, if you ask me, I would say, just fucking off, wasting time.
Oh, okay. I'm glad you clarified that.
But if you ask my wife, it'd be pissing her off.
Did you have a bad night?
No.
Okay. Did you have a normal night?
Yeah.
Okay. Just checking.
There's our natural instincts. 4. All right, next one from Randall Holt. How many of the Marilyn Manson dildos are you ordering?
Well, see, here's the thing.
Is there a background joke that I'm missing?
He linked something on this. Randall Holt, there was an adult company that now is making Marilyn Manson dildos, and they modeled after his real-life penis. So you can buy a Marilyn Manson dildo.
So obviously it's exaggerated in size.
Yeah.
Because that's what every man does.
Why would I want Akron, Ohio's Brian Warner's fake penis?
You don't. You want Marilyn Manson's.
Same difference.
Nope, he's a totally different person.
Nope.
So it's like...
Change not approved.
Is it completely white and goth-looking?
Joey Noya has leukemia. Roman Reigns doesn't. See, it's the same exact thing. It's a character.
Nope, don't get it.
No, okay. So, would you be buying a Marilyn Manson dildo?
No.
Is it flesh-toned or white makeup?
I don't
White
know.
makeup.
I did not click the link because I did not want that on my browser. I did not install Tree yet.
You know, if you could, I was about to say, if you installed Tree, it wouldn't be a problem.
It's true. It is true. God, help me. Anyways, moving on.
Oh, I didn't prepare for this one. I need some porn music, Jason.
Oh, yeah.
No, don't ever ask Jason.
God,
I asked for porn. I didn't ask for WWE shit.
It's time for some porn music. Bam, cheeky, bam, bam.
You need more bass.
Boom, jiggy, boom, boom.
There you go.
Dinky, boom, boom, lay you down by the fire, Jeff.
All right, let me turn. This is me turning the volume down.
Yeah,
Let me turn the volume down so I can read over it. All right, but keep it going. Thank you. Jeff.
Suck it, baby. Yeah. Boom, chicky, boom, boom.
Jack.
Yeah.
Off. Part.
Oh, yeah.
Do.
Go now. Here we go.
Jack
I wanna
Dempsey
take your
in his
panties
prime versus Jack Nicholas in his prime versus Jack the Ripper in his prime. Who pulls out first and who comes in last? Hashtag last who, hashtag Jeff's number 2.54 fan.
Let's do a number 2 on me. I got it.
That's not really
Jason, you can stop now.
Stop.
I'm going to say
Put that Marilyn Manson dildo away.
Jack
Jason.
Nicholas comes in last. He'll be killed right away.
That's Trent Reznor.
Jack the Ripper will take him out without a problem. Jack the Ripper will have a problem with Jack Dempsey because he punches hard, but I don't know. Jack the Ripper's never been caught. I don't think he'll be caught this time, so Jack the Ripper is the winner in the Jack-Off number 2.
The beautiful people. The beautiful people.
There you go.
The beautiful people.
The beautiful penis. The beautiful penis.
By the fire.
There you go. Moving on to higher culture. The Pop Culture Podcast.
What they got to say?
This is
He's from Canada.
okay. So I was like so high because of legal pot that I cannot remember all the tweets from yesterday or in the day before that, the day before that. Wait, what was I tweeting about? Oh, look, a moose. Hashtag Canadian of the Year.
I think that was his official tweet to say that he wants to be a nominee for Canadian of the Year.
I second his nomination.
And when we see this legal pot, maybe he'll get a vote.
Change approved.
You know, true story, Canada's GNP production has gone drastically down since the legalization of pot. However, on a good note, sales at Tim Hortons have skyrocketed.
In fact, they're opening up 6,000 new restaurants. Good for them.
But nobody ever shows up to work.
Why is this not...
They never open on time and they close early.
What time? They have those signs on the door. Open 6-ish. Close 2-ish, maybe. I'm
Sorry, we ate all the donuts before we opened.
We made 3 donut holes today.
I ate them.
They were good. Can we not get legalized pot here nationwide? Come on.
Sure. You have a medical malady?
No, tax the hell out of it. Who cares? There's bigger things to worry about down the hall. Sorry. Sorry. I'm moving to Canada.
Yes.
When I win this Mega Millions or whatever it is, I'm going to Canada. I'm buying Canada.
There you go.
They don't want you.
For $1 billion, they want me.
No, they don't.
Damn it.
I think they told us that specifically.
I just go to Saudi Arabia. I'm sure nothing bad happens there.
Jason, if you go over there with $1 billion, they'll love you.
No, that's true. They probably would. That is true.
It's true. Your wife may not be allowed to drive, but
No, they're allowed driving now.
allowed. They changed that.
Blech, can you get
Yeah,
me
but
over
they
there?
have to have a flag boy running in front of the car yelling, "Lady driver!"
Murder board.
Oh no!
Okay, moving on. No, that's from a TV show. Trial and error.
If there's no episode that comes out next week, please call the FBI. Next one from intern Hackney.
Hackney!
You didn't even read my draft day of Designing Women.
Take the hint.
That's right, intern. From Kevin at Cincy Explorer. Which of these films will finish number 2 to Mary Poppins the week they are all released? Aquaman, Mortal Engines, Welcome to Marwen, or Bumblebee?
Oh, we moved on. Let's see here. What movie will be number 2, Jeff?
Number 2 will be Mary Poppins.
What's number 1?
Aquaman.
They all come out the same week?
I don't know.
Wow.
I'm assuming Kevin wouldn't lie to us, would he?
No, I guess not. Jim, what comes out? What comes in second?
Mortal Engines. Because Aquaman's first.
I think Mary Poppins third.
7th.
7th. Blake,
Yes.
good call. Blech, what do you think? Are you allowed to watch a movie?
Whatever the Crown Prince declares.
Actually, Saudi Arabia did allow movie theaters to reopen last year. True story, and I'm not kidding.
True story.
First movie they were allowed to watch, Emoji Movie. So
And they
made-
immediately closed them back up.
First we allow women to drive, and next we get the Emoji Movie. We gotta draw the line somewhere.
Aquaman is going to be number 1. Mary Poppins 2. Bumblebee 3. That's what I'm going with.
I think they took the Emoji Movie as a declaration of war on their country.
It's a good call. It's a good call. I've seen the Emoji Movie. Oh, is it horrible? It is horrible. Oh, anyways, go ahead, Blake.
I found it entertaining. Smile, smile, laugh, laugh. Ha ha.
I loved it. It was much better than Cats. I'm going to see it again and again.
In all honesty, everything's better than
The
Cats.
show.
Everything's better than Cats.
Moving on to listener reviews. That's right. You give us your reviews. From Chris Richardson.
Good day, mate.
Cheekily listener review. Daredevil Season 3 is a bloody fantastic. It's easily the best season yet. It just shows you the difference that having an actor the caliber of Charlie, the fuck Cox in the lead, will make your show. The only problem is I am on episode 7, and there's been no Rosario Dawson yet. A, B, C, easy as 1, 2, 3, jiggle, 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 jiggle. Yeah, this upsets me, as she should be in everything.
I agree with the Rosario Dawson part of the...
Have you seen Daredevil 3?
I haven't seen season 3 yet.
I'm intrigued.
I'm a little behind on all of them now. I'm a season behind on Daredevil, and...
Oh, you never finished season 2?
No, I have finished
season
3.
Okay.
And Iron Fist, and...
Luke Cage.
Jessica
Jones.
And I'm up to date on Jessica Jones.
Punisher?
Punisher, I'm like 2 or 3 episodes into the Punisher. Okay. So I got a lot to catch up on.
I'll be watching Daredevil because I like that. I like the character a lot.
Speaking of, when's Stranger Things season 3 coming?
October.
Really?
You mean
It's October right now?
you mean the month we're almost out of?
You mean
That's
October
not right.
next year?
Yeah, it's
Are they on the Game of Thrones schedule?
Next week is the...
It's November.
It's Halloween.
Yeah. Halloween's the end of October.
I get you. Just keep going. I want to see the new season of Daredevil because Bullseye's in it. So I kind of want to see how he does. I like Bullseye.
I hope it's better than.
Stop it. He was awesome in
No,
the
he
movie.
was not. Colin Farrell was terrible as Bullseye.
You hit that right on the mark.
I don't get it.
Won't arrive until 2019, Stranger Things.
Yep.
There you go.
So Halloween of next year.
Most likely.
Yes.
Well, that's kind of a bummer. The kids will all be much older then.
It's going to be like 60.
Yeah, they're going to be in high school, and it takes place in a mall. It's awesome.
Okay.
Sometime in 2019.
They're still going to be younger than anybody on Riverdale.
That is true.
And more talented.
That is true.
And they'll be younger than Nathan Fillion.
Oh, there'll be an actual plot, too.
Yeah.
Riverdale is awesome. Shut up. Anyways, moving on. What else? Pam
moving
Morris has
on.
something.
Pam Morris says, I watched the second episode of Charmed. Doesn't say that she's watched the first one.
She did. She did.
Oh, okay.
she
She
told us
watched
that
the
last
first two
week.
episodes. Okay. Well, my memory's horrible. So I'm done. I tried. It's just not good. I don't feel the sisterhood. And she would know because she is an expert in this field.
No,
Witchcraft.
no, there's witchcraft in it.
Yeah.
No, I was going to say Alyssa Milano. No Alyssa Milano.
No,
No
Alyssa
Charmed.
Milano.
No.
No Charmed. No Alyssa. No Charmed. No Alyssa. No Charmed.
No woman, no cry.
Moving on. What else we got? Let's wrap this up.
But you don't have to.
Peace.
Yeah, but you don't have to be an expert to send us a listener review.
Nope.
You can pretend to be one. Mm-hmm. Or be a self-appointed one.
We are experts in every field.
Until we're proven wrong.
Exactly.
Send it to us at Bad Ideas Podcast on Twitter.
All right. So wrapping it up, Professor Number One and Doctor Number One says, worst umpire, Joe West or Angel Hernandez?
Joe West.
C.V. Buckner.
Eric Gregg.
Oh, great. He's dead. Cross him off.
Can I say all of the above?
That could work. That could work.
I mean, Joe West and Angel Hernandez are excellent umpires compared to C.V. Buckner.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. I'm kind of worried. I'm going with Joe West. I forgot about Greg though. Greg
I'll go with Angel Hernandez because doesn't he have like a lawsuit against because he's so bad?
Felix Hernandez?
No, Angel
For
Hernandez.
stealing his last name?
Like
Yes, because Hernandez is not a common name at all. Black, I don't know how it is in your country. Hernandez is pretty common.
You should invite him to your embassy and kill him.
Allegedly.
I mean, no.
Question him.
Yes. Nicely with cake and tea.
And punch and pie. And we will come if there's punch and pie.
bone saw.
Yes.
Okay, real quick, I just found a piece of paper on the floor and it says Suzanne Sugarbaker, Melissa McCarthy, Julia Sugarbaker, Allison Janney, Mary Jo Shively, Marta Tierney, Charlene, Busy Phillips, and Anthony Lamorne Morris. I have no idea what that is.
I don't know. Sounds like a draft of some sort.
Something.
I don't know who that is. On a complete unrelated note, Jeff, congratulations. Pittsburgh Nerd picked you as the winner of draft day for Design and Women last week.
Sean has taste.
That's
Yes.
bullshit.
I do too. I think it's bullshit too, Jeff.
Fucking
Blake.
slee stack.
Slee stack for the win.
What did you bribe him with?
A slee stack.
So we have one more thing. We got a new
Cake.
We are bringing back a new segment. Rank 'em. People send in stuff to rank, and we rank them. We did World Bodybuilding Association wrestler.
I'm just bringing back a new segment. If it's new, we can't bring it back.
Oh, it is. We rebooted it.
This is the boardroom. I'm not going to tell you how, guys, we do this. You're just going to have to jump in right away.
I will have to say, the boardroom did not go as planned.
There was no plan. We have no idea what this plan because we had no idea what it was.
In my mind, it was a good plan. I didn't tell anybody about the boardroom, but it was a good plan. Anyways, rank them.
And that's ranked last, Jason. Thanks. Moving on.
He
Segments,
says,
right
wait,
class,
hold
the
on.
boardroom.
Doug says, rank the funky fries from Orida. What is funky fries, Jim?
They are French fries that are different colors, shapes, and flavors.
There's cinema sticks,
They're fake.
Cocoa Crispers, Crunchy Rings, Cold Blue, and Sour Cream and Jive. So, of those five,
turkey.
what would you rank? Jeff, what do you think is number one? We can do this all together.
We're starting at the top or the bottom?
Let's do it at the bottom.
The worst is sour cream.
Sour cream and jive's worst.
I was thinking Cola Blue.
Cold blue?
Sour
Cold
cream.
blue.
If sour cream is a flavor in these, it's the worst.
I like sour cream, but I'll go with you. I'll agree.
I vote sour cream's the worst.
Okay, change approved. Sour cream and jive is the worst.
And then everything else is above that.
Cold blue. I'm going cold
All
blue.
the others are on the same equal footing.
I
I can't imagine eating Cinna potatoes or cocoa
I
potatoes.
didn't put any of this shit in my mouth, man.
Crunchy rings, maybe?
I think crunchy rings would be my
Crunchy
favorite.
rings would probably be number one.
I've never had any of these, but I'm going
Crunchy onion
ring.
ring flavored fries?
Yes. We're doing what? Change approved. So we're doing crunchy rings and then cold Cinna sticks.
Now, I'll go cold blue because I don't want to eat. That just eating a blue French fry is weird. You probably go with purple ketchup with it.
Yeah.
Ooh, purple ketchup.
So crunchy rings and
On
cold
those green buns that Burger King is selling.
And then I'll tie the Cocoa Crispers and the Cinna Sticks as dessert,
Dessert
fries.
It says right here on the box it's a dessert fry.
So, if you got anything you want to send us to rank, send it on over. Bad Ideas Podcast on Twitter, or give us segments for Boardroom.
It's time for another installment of the Moves of the Geek.
Is Captain Britain the next superhero set to go to the big screen? Marvel Studios always does well in the UK, and Kevin Feige is seemingly a fan of the character, so it could happen. And one new report claims it's in the works. According to, oh my God, it came back from the grave. Ain't it cool news?
They still exist?
I guess. Guy Ritchie is being eyed to take the help of a movie revolving around Captain Britain and his longtime ally and fellow Brit, Black Knight. I always liked Black Knight in the Avengers. He was not good. But I
I was
was
about to say, what do you mean you insulted him?
I did.
And when I came to his defense, you insulted me.
Yes, but I did like the drawing of him. How about that? We'll go with that.
I always like Captain Britain's ally, the Curie Fury.
Anyways, moving on. Space has reportedly been booked by Marvel Studios at Pinewood Studios in November and December to hold auditions for a project being referred to as Captain Britain and the Black Knight. Well, I guess that's pretty clear cut. What movie they're doing? It's actually for Namor, Submariner.
Yeah, that's just one of those secret titles, so you don't really know what movie it is. It's probably just James Bond's 26 or something.
Guy Ritchie is said to be the director booked in for those dates, and Marvel is apparently looking to fill the space left by Danny Boyle's scrapped James Bond 25,
Yay. Well, wait a minute.
a movie which has now gone back to the drawing board. Ritchie has been working with Disney on that live-action Aladdin remake.
I already know how that ends.
Stop it.
The dog dies at the end.
And he would be a good fit for a project like this, and we know Marvel Studios has secretly put together its Phase 4 slate.
Who are we getting to play Robin Williams?
Will Smith.
Anyways, Captain Britain, would you see that?
I'd see a Captain Britain movie.
I like the character. I like that. I don't know who you could get, though. Who would be your guest casting? Fancy casting.
Jeez.
Judi Dench?
Maybe we should
Yeah,
we should
Judi
defer
Dench.
to 365 Flicks since
Chris
they're the
Kev?
experts.
Chris Kev?
I'm just trying to think.
Who would you do for Captain Britain?
Honestly, someone like Henry Cavill would be a great Captain Britain.
I could see that. He's not doing anything else.
No, he's
done with
not.
Superman.
But somebody at least with that type of look.
How about Ralph Fiennes?
No.
Okay.
And I think you mean Ray Fiennes?
No. And how about
About his
Tarragon?
brother.
Whatever from the Kingsmen.
No.
Okay. Robin Hood comes out next month.
It does.
There was a trailer before Halloween. It was a different trailer. It looks a whole lot better than the first trailer they sent out.
First trailer looked terrible.
I'll be seeing it opening night.
Does it star One Direction?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
That's a band.
Oh.
It's a British boy band.
It says they sing Bye Bye Bye.
Okay.
I think that's what it is.
So would you get Harry Styles then to be Captain Britain?
Is he in One Direction? I don't know what this is. Is he in One Directive? Anyways, moving on. Oh, do Drew Lachey as Captain Britain. How about that?
Not even Nick.
No, not Nick. No.
Justin Jeffrey.
Anyway, so this is the thing that intern Hackney put out there. Hackney! Twitter took to Blumhouse Productions, company behind many recent horror films, owner Jason Blum, to task about his recent comments about how how no women has ever directed a horror movie by his company. Bloom told Polygon they are trying to hire women, but there aren't a lot of female directors. Bloom's comments sparked a discussion amongst female directors who disagreed. And my God, was Twitter quick.
Twitter exploded.
Blumhouse just did a Halloween movie.
Yeah.
Halloween movie. And I think they made 30 horror movies, and none of them have been female directed, which is an issue. I'll give you that. But his response, after being roasted online, the reason why this was in our news, he responded with a statement. And I like the statement. Thank you, everyone, for calling me out on my dumb comments in that interview. I made a stupid mistake. I spoke too quickly about a serious issue, an issue I'm passionate about. Over 50% of our audience is female. Over 50% of Blumhouse executives are women. And some of our most successful franchises are anchored by women, including the one opening, well, this was Friday, Halloween. But we have not done a good enough job working with female directors, and it's not because they don't exist. I heard from many today. The way my passion came out was dumb, and for that I am sorry. I will do better. You know what? It was great. And you know what the best part was? Twitter shockingly said, "Hey, that was nice. Okay. Good job."
Oh, well, okay then.
And female directors said, there was a lot of female directors that were taking text. Thanks. And I was like, was this civility in internet age?
On Twitter?
On social media, people being no, burn him.
I was shocked. And I was like, first he admits his mistake. He misspoke, which you can do. I get that. And then he's like, yeah, it was a dumb mistake. I apologize. I'll try to do better. And people were like, okay, that's cool. I don't know what to make of it. I was shocked. Intern Hackney was shocked. So he sent this over to us. So there you go. Blake, what do you got on this one? Blech, what do you got?
Unfortunately,
oh, Jesus.
this was a lie.
Okay.
I was having cigars and cognac with him the other night.
Jason Blum.
And he laughed evilly because what he said was they mistook my quote out of context because what I actually meant to say was there aren't a lot of good female directors. And thank God Twitter exploded on the fact that I just said no female directors. And so I laughed my ass off. And I said, yeah, that's exactly what I meant to say, and I apologize. And there are a lot of female directors out there. I'm going to find one. I haven't found 30 yet for any of my movies, but I'll find one. And then he laughed evilly.
I miss Black. Where's Black? Where's Black? Thanks for taking a really nice story and a good outcome and just shitting on it.
Actually, that was sponsored by Harvey Weinstein.
When you need to go, look for a plant.
God.
My new app, Plant.
Trademark.
When you just need to come, it's the Tinder for plants. It's the Tinder for plants.
You have trees to hide your porn. The bush
people.
And now you got plant as a place to hide your masturbatory fantasies.
The good news is they already have a sponsor, Louis C.K. Yeah. So that's good.
And Sarah Silverman.
Silverman. No, let's not get into that.
No? Okay.
Plant. Hooking up plants and the people that love them for years.
There you go.
So, moving on. And finally on News of the Geek, HBO has given a series order to adaptation of The Time Traveler's Wife from former Doctor Who showrunner Stephen Moffat. I didn't realize Stephen Moffat was gone from Doctor Who.
Stephen Moffat's gone from Doctor Who.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Cable Network announced that the series will adapt the best-selling novel by Audrey Neffringer, which tells the story of Claire and Henry and a marriage with a problem. Time travel!
Really?
Neffringer?
Niffenegger?
There you go.
I mean, that doesn't look... You just sound it out.
Moffat said of the news, I read Audrey Neffringer, The Time Traveler's Wife, many years ago. I fell in love with it. In fact, I wrote a Doctor Who episode called The Girl in the Fireplace as a direct response to it. So you copied the book and made it an episode?
No, he said a response to.
When in her next novel, Audrey had a character watching that very episode. I realized she was probably on to me. After all these years later, the chance to adapt the novel itself is a dream come true. The brave new world of long-form television is now ready for this kind of depth and complexity. It's a story of happy ever after, but not necessarily in that order.
Feels like see the movie?
No.
Wasn't that Eric Bana?
Yeah. Was it any good?
Yeah, he's all right.
He could be Captain Britain.
He probably could be. No, he's too short.
No.
You know, they can
He's the
do.
Hulk.
What's the requirement for a Captain Britain? 6'2"?
At least.
Okay, sorry. 7 foot.
Not quite that high.
Liam Hemsworth. He's Captain Britain.
Ooh.
No, he'd be Captain Australia.
Good day, mate. Top of the morning to ya. How about Michael Caine?
Yes, Michael Caine would be a great Captain Britain.
people just want to watch it done.
Sean Connery.
No.
I called the dog Indiana.
You're stealing my impression.
What about Crocodile Dundee?
That's not a knife. This is a knife.
Paul Hogan.
That's a penis. Put
What
it
you
away.
gonna do, brother, when Australia takes over you?
No, Paul Hogan.
What you gonna do when these 24-inch pythons come to you?
No, Paul Hogan.
I was in We're No Angels.
We're No Angels? That's the movie you picked?
I think Jason just had a stroke.
Pudding pop. And then you go to sleep, bitch.
Can somebody explain to me the plot of The Time Traveler's Wife? This sounds like a great SNL skit. Honey, what is this? I found this. Perfume or cologne? This isn't yours. This isn't mine. Well, actually, honey, it is. I went back in time, and in an alternate reality, you liked that cologne and perfume. I just happened to buy it, and I put it there, and now you found it.
This is a
10
really
years
long
later.
segue.
This is the Time Traveler's Wife. I mean, what kind of woman puts up with this guy who comes up with all these lies about, well, you haven't seen me because
I wasn't cheating on you.
I was
time
cheating on you. I was
traveling.
time traveling.
I like it.
God, why didn't I ever use that excuse?
Honey, you don't smell like
Jim, you were being the one cheated on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, she was just time traveling. Oh, son of a bitch!
Whatever we do, honey, we can't go to your mother's birthday today. Why not? Because I was there.
I killed her 5 years
Something
ago.
terrible will happen if we're there.
If we go. I'm serious. Time Traveler's Wife.
Well, I don't know. Eric Bana made it pretty believable. I'm like, oh, man, is that what he was doing all this time now?
Yeah.
I don't think Moffat's really worried about. I don't think the depth and complexity Moffat's talking about is getting out of family get-togethers.
Are you sure? That sounds pretty complex and genius to me.
Blake's gonna try it.
I mean, how gullible does this woman have to be? Oh, you're time traveling.
Maybe she's the one time traveling.
Really?
You
Oh, no, it's
know,
time traveler's wife. Sorry.
What?
you know,
Yeah.
my work with the Navy, it's actually time travel. Sorry, honey, we can't go to your parents tonight.
You've heard of the Philadelphia experiment, right? Well, this is a follow-up, the Cincinnati Project.
We can't go to Thanksgiving because the turkey experiment would kill us all. We can't do it. I'm sorry.
Honey, you don't understand. I've been there. I ate the turkey. We all got sick, okay?
It wasn't good.
Oh.
Let's just skip and go to the Chinese
I
restaurant.
don't remember wearing this red underwear. Honey, that is yours. I swear. Okay, because I bought it for you 15 years ago.
I bought it for you 15 years from now.
No, but you wore it 15 years ago. It's just so complicated. You'll never understand.
I don't think these are my
Got
diamond.
out of that one.
I don't think. I just fold up. He just goes into a refrigerator box. Yeah, and he moves it around. Shakes it.
And then walks out the secret door in the back.
Wow, he really is gone.
He's at the bar drinking.
Who sent you this text message? I love you. Who is this person? Oh, that's you, honey.
You in the future. You changed your name.
I don't know why you changed your name. I haven't uncovered that mystery yet.
You sent this to me. This is my phone from the future.
Yes, that's there's pictures. Yeah, that's what your boobs look like in the future.
In 5 years from now, I get you a breast enhancement. Oh shit! I gotta start saving up for that.
When did I change my race?
When did I become an Asian midget?
In 5 years, everybody can change.
You can change. I can change. We can all change.
I don't know if you know this, but I would love to go back in time, too. Please. I want to do roofies.
No. I would do roofies. I would just skip one.
Time Traveler's Wife.
Look for it on HBO. This episode is sponsored by Tom Traveler's Wife. When you just need to get out of that family get-together.
Can't wait till we write our own movie.
Starring Peter Dinklage. There's your News of the Geek.
Do you ever wonder when Spider-Man goes to the bathroom if the toilet paper sticks to his fingers?
Do you ever wonder why Superman wears his underwear outside of his pants?
My name is Imran.
My name is Anthony.
He's the Jock.
And he's the nerd.
And we're your hosts for the Jock and Nerd podcast, where we sometimes try to attempt to answer these questions.
This is a full spoiler podcast, and we swear a lot.
Check it out for awesome geek news, interviews, and comic book reviews. Visit jockandnerd.com. We are your superhero TV, movies, and comic book culture curators.
Boom.
Jockandnerd.com. Jock and Nerd.
Jeff,
Yes.
I know you're a planner.
I am a planner. I like to plan at least a year in advance.
Well, that's good. This is only 11 months in advance. What are you doing September 20th through the 22nd?
Oh, I'm going to be at the Cincinnati Comic Expo.
That's right, 2019, baby. You know who they got for hot guests?
No, I don't.
We
Hobie.
don't either. Yeah, maybe.
Hobie.
Yeah. We don't know anyone else. Anyway, September 20th through the 22nd, Cincinnati Comic Expo at the Duke Energy Convention Center.
Hobie will be there.
Yeah.
You should be there too.
Blake.
I'm going to be washing my hair that whole
Yeah,
weekend.
Blake, mark it on your calendar.
That's
So you
fine.
can plan something.
Hey, Blake, you're not invited, but Blech can show up. But yeah, September 20th through the 22nd. Tickets go on sale January. I don't know. Maybe. But you know what? We love this Inside Comic Expo, so plan accordingly.
2019.
2019, September 20th through the 22nd.
I'm marking it down.
Yeah. Okay, don't buy any tickets for Iceland
Okay.
or Greenland.
Or
You know what?
France.
Just don't buy plane tickets. Unless you're 365 Flicks. Come on over, chaps.
Okay.
It's time for Box Office Bombs.
All right. Bombs. Bad Times at the El Royale made $3.3 million in its second weekend, down 54%. The thriller suffered the biggest fall in the top 10 and is not the news that Fox wanted to see, particularly since the film didn't start off too well. The ensemble film is just $13.3 million in the U.S. and $21.4 overseas, with a $20 million domestic final gross looking likely. With a $32 million budget, it's not going to make money.
Good news is that Disney bought the rights to the sequel since they bought Fox, so I'm sure the sequel will be much better.
Oh, yeah. Is this a movie that can be sequelized?
Sure.
I mean, now that might be what was problem with the movie, is if there's, it looks to me a movie that probably shouldn't have a sequel.
Han Solo shouldn't be sequelized either, but they're going to. Actually, no, they won't.
I'm just assuming none of the characters at the El Royale are going to survive.
I wanted to see this, actually.
I do want to see it, but, I mean, not enough to go to the theater or something.
Make an effort.
Yeah. Self-preservation, man.
That's right.
What did do well this week, however, number one, Halloween made $77.5 million in its opening weekend on a $10 million budget, just barely missing the record for an October release.
They were expecting $50 million. They were tracking, which would have been huge for Halloween. And then they upped it to $65 million, and then it blew that away. So that Friday, when it was about, or Thursday night before it opened, they said $65 million is what they were tracking for. I went Thursday night, opening night, and I think all but maybe 5 seats were available.
Wow. I know that they were thinking after, Saturday night it might actually break 80, but it didn't.
I went to the 7 p.m. showing, and there was 3 other showings that night.
Number two, A Star Is Born made $19.5 million, putting its total up to $126.5 on a $36 million budget.
Bust.
So expect to see A Star Is Born 2. Or A Star Is Born Again.
A star dies.
Supernova? They already made that movie.
Can't they do a Star is Born where they switch gender roles?
They probably could do
the
that.
washed up old female agent who finds this young
Does
male.
anyone shit in a sink?
No.
No.
Never mind.
They could do Melissa McCartney shitting in a sink while they do a role reversal on A Star Is
How
Born.
many Stars Borns have they remade?
This is the
like
fourth.
the 5th or 4th? Yeah. I guess it never gets old. Wrong.
I don't know.
Well, it depends on
they
whether
say it
you
keeps
die.
getting better. I mean, come on. It's better than the Barbra Streisand version.
Bullshit.
Yeah, because we're in this era now.
Bullshit.
At the time, the Barbra Streisand people were probably like, "Oh, this is the best one ever." And before that, it was like, "What, Marilyn
Judy
Monroe?
Garland.
Judy Garland. Oh my God, this is the best ever."
Did you say Marilyn Manson?
No,
Oh,
it's Marilyn Monroe.
okay to see that one.
I couldn't remember that.
Marilyn Monroe and Marilyn Manson in the movie together.
Beautiful people. The beautiful people.
Number 3 is Venom with $18 million, a total of $171 million on a $100 million budget.
I'll tell you one thing. This movie's not dying. They've done it's done a great job
So that
making
means
money.
they'll make a sequel.
Oh yeah.
It's actually a symbiotic survival of the other movies in the top 5.
Okay, go on.
Never mind.
Number 4, Goosebumps.
Hey, Time Traveler's Wife.
I didn't say that.
I didn't say that.
Go to plant.
Number 4, Goosebumps: Haunted Halloween made $10 million, a total of $29 million on a $35 million budget.
Wah, wah, wah.
But they wrote out Jack Black's character.
We made $7 million. Saved $7 million because of that.
Yeah, it would have been a budget of $42 million.
And then First Man made another $8.5 million, a total of $30 million on a $59 million budget.
Wah, wah, wonk. They said that's not going to do well because overseas it's not doing well either.
Well, overseas doesn't care about
Correct.
Americans.
American. Yeah.
America! Fuck yeah!
Overseas doesn't care about American exceptionalism theory.
Exactly.
Are we journalists?
Upcoming October 26th of 2018, we've got Hunter Killer.
An untested American submarine captain teams up with U.S. Navy SEALs to rescue the Russian president who has been kidnapped by a rogue general.
Oh, no, I won't say it.
You know, I saw The Hunt for Red October last weekend for about 30 minutes. It was a good movie.
Oh, you're only 30 years.
I'm sure Hunter Killer's nothing like it, but you know.
Also coming out, unfortunately, Johnny English Strikes Again.
After a cyber attack reveals the identity of all the active undercover agents in Britain, Johnny English is forced to come out of retirement to find the mastermind hacker.
When I think hackers, I think Rowan Atkinson.
I don't think anything makes me think of Rowan Atkinson except maybe Pain.
Is this why James Bond 25 is delayed?
Yes, because they need to make Johnny English 2.
Johnny English, too, took the plot from James Bond 25. Daniel Craig's like, fucker. Daniel Craig English?
Daniel Craig is English,
Okay.
yes.
I'm fucking that chicken cunt.
Well, and also coming out this weekend, Indivisible.
Indivisible is the extraordinary true story of Army chaplain Darren Turner and his wife Heather. When war etches battle scars on their hearts, they face one more battle, the fight to save their marriage.
It's a Christian
One
movie.
marriage, one family, under God.
And one time traveler.
Who's in this movie?
This is...
Running back for San Diego Chargers.
LaDainian Tomlinson?
Yes, he is. He plays the
Preacher.
preacher.
Robin Givens is in it. She's fine. Resurrection. No pun intended.
Robin Givens from Howard Stern.
Yeah. No, not Robin Givens. Mike Tyson's wife.
No, this is David G. Evans' director. It's Justin Bruning, is Sarah Drew, Jason George, Tia Mowry.
From
this
Tea
is
and Tomorrow.
different.
This is a different movie than
Yeah,
you're
it's a
thinking
different
of.
They're all the same.
Sky P. Marshall, Tanner Stein.
Oh.
So ignore everything we said earlier.
Yes. Jason's wrong because we proved him wrong. So
I think LaDainian Tomlinson's. Oh, no, this is the one with Edger and James. My bad. Okay, so we're good. We're good.
All right, buy sell this week. We've got the stock of Jamie Lee Curtis. Currently on the Hollywood Stock Exchange, or at least when the outline was printed, she was $15.19, compared to Rita Wilson at $20.05.
I'd buy, because if the movie's as good as everybody says it is, she's at least going to get another movie deal out of it.
She did say that she is not doing another Halloween movie.
Yeah, I'd sell because she's already done like too many Halloween movies anyway.
At $15, I'll buy.
I didn't mean another Halloween movie.
Oh, you mean
I
just
meant
a deal?
another movie deal.
well,
out of
she
it.
has a movie An Acceptable Loss in production, but I wouldn't buy because since 2010 she has 5 credits.
Yeah, but I believe that.
And one of those credits is
Activia.
Yes.
Activia.
Well, she was in The New Girl.
Oh.
That's not on here.
Well, her digestive
it's not.
system's
No,
working really
spare
well.
parts. Veronica
I'm going with
Mars. From Up on the Poppy Hill.
Oh, I love that movie.
She only has 5 credits because of Hollywood ageism and sexism.
But again, like you said, her digestive track is very good.
Yeah.
So
Her career peaked at Trading Places. So
can she be in a Christopher Guest movie? It's her husband.
she should be in a Christopher Guest movie. Then I might like her
I'll
more.
be honest. I would be happy if we could get a Christopher Guest movie.
I was going to buy Rowan Atkinson, but his stock isn't trading.
Oh, he's not.
Maybe next week.
tradable.
Maybe next week.
He's still privately owned.
They don't have Mr. Bean in there at all. Stupid
Actually,
Hollywood.
you have to look under.
Oh, it's the Hollywood Stock Exchange.
Yeah, you have to look
not
under-
the stupid English Stock
Yeah,
Exchange.
you have to look under future commodities.
Nerdly. We're on Nerdly. Be nice to Nerdly.
Yeah, but they have. I'm nice to Nerdly. Unfortunately, for some reason, the English find Rowan Atkinson funny.
It's true. It's true.
Well, they love Benny Hill.
Oh, I love
Benny Hill was funny. Rowan Atkinson wasn't.
Na, 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 na.
I really think they should do a Benny Hill reboot.
But switch genders.
Yeah, no, exactly the
no.
same, and see how it goes over today.
What was I watching? Family Guy. They had a young Benny Hill. And he's Jason Wimmer. He's like, trust me, in about 50 years, it'll be funny when he's old.
Oh, so Stewie does his sexy parties.
Yes. Fun fact: that music from Benny Hill is not fair use.
Yeah, we found that out a couple years ago.
Yeah.
We discussed it, whether it was or not, and looked it up and found out it wasn't.
Correct.
It wasn't what?
Yeah, can you say
Copyright
that?
free.
Oh.
Yeah. But however, it makes for great music while watching Browns games.
Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly how it goes.
Or when watching The Walking Dead.
That would make it actually more enjoyable.
I suppose it was somebody put the yakety sax to the scene when they were driving in the van hitting
God.
zombies. And, like when the van ran over one of the guys or something.
They do that now. What's that music mean, Jeff?
That means it's time for top 5.
Top 5! Top 5 this week is courtesy of, I think, my wife last week.
Yeah.
I thought you said it was Kirstie Alley.
No.
Courtesy of, not
Courtesy.
Kirstie.
Top 5 best Halloween costumes you wore.
Yes.
Jeff, why don't you start off?
Oh, I get to start off.
That you wore.
That I wore. Well, this will be pretty much the costume that I think I wore from like age 8 to whenever I stopped trick-or-treating.
Kool-Aid Man?
No,
Oh.
I wasn't that big at that time.
Humpty Dumpty?
No, that was when I was 4.
I think these are fat jokes.
Oh, I know it. I did go as Humpty Dumpty one year, but that didn't make my list.
It's not a fat joke. I was just asking. You know, these are popular things.
But
Java?
Okay, fuck you. I went as a hobo.
Oh, okay.
And once I realized, fuck, this is an easy costume to do. All I do is put on my normal clothes and and mess up my face a little and wear a crumpled hat.
You carry a red hanky sack.
Yeah, you just carry your thing on a stick over your shoulder. So this is easy.
Jim, what's your number 5?
My number 5, again, I wasn't even as, growing up, I wasn't even as industrious as him. It was a garbage bag. I put on a garbage bag.
Oh, that was it?
That's it, a garbage
Are
bag.
you sure you weren't mistaken for a California raisin?
Originally, the first costume I did, I was going to be an M&M, and I kind of had a garbage bag and a pillow stuff there with an M on it.
Did Jeff try to eat you?
But it was just uncomfortable, so I just took everything out and I just went into the garbage bag.
Because Jeff tried to eat you.
Yeah, no.
Now,
I'm just asking.
I was a lot faster.
Just because I like to eat stuff doesn't mean I want to. I'll be fooled into thinking that a garbage bag is an M&M. Sorry, Jason. Just because your kids would try to eat them doesn't mean I was that dumb.
Not the peanut M&Ms, according to my daughter. Remember last week? Blake, what do you got?
This may sound surprising
Yeah.
to you guys, but I don't like dressing up for Halloween.
Really?
No, I don't
Well,
like
you
it.
love role play.
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay.
But not...
Okay, let's switch it up. What's
Halloween.
your top 5 role plays in the bedroom?
What top 5 list did you make?
No. So I have no number 5.
That was a Valkyrie.
I don't have 5.
But you have 4?
Yeah, I got 4.
Okay.
Well, here's my honest answer. I don't remember anything about Halloween growing up, so I'm down to 4 as well.
This was your pick. I even had 6 because I didn't have
What you should have said was you took my number 5, Blake. Mark it up, put it on the board.
I don't. Okay, so this is how bad it was.
Oh my
I had like
God.
13.
I texted Ape Hand, and I said, "Did Mom care about Halloween? Because I don't remember anything." He's like, "Yeah, she did." It's not like she didn't, give you
What about
costumes,
as an adult when you go to Halloween parties?
I'll be honest, I really don't remember.
Because I know we've been to a couple of Halloween
Those are my
parties.
1 and
as an
2.
adult. Oh, okay.
3 and 4 is a little reaching, right? For my number 4?
Yeah, what's your number 4?
My oldest son dressed as Star-Lord last year. I thought that was a really cool costume.
That's not you.
This is how bad the list went.
Wow.
He went as Kurt Russell, not caring to dress up as his son is Star-Lord.
He went as Ego, the living planet.
Jim, can I get some... Oh, over here, give me one of yours.
No.
I went as an M&M one year, and then I switched it to a garbage bag.
Because you're mistaken as a California grape.
That's
a
right.
raisin instead of an M&M.
So my oldest one as Star-Lord. Thought that was cool.
All right, Blake, what is your number 4?
Man, I'll tell you what. The late 70s and early 80s was recession. So
You
the
went as
only thing,
recession?
the only thing you had basically to buy were these stupid ass plastic costumes.
Yep.
That sweated your ass off
Yep.
because they weren't breathable.
And cut
With
your face
A
'cause they were
horrible
sharp
plastic
plastic.
mask. It was a plastic plaster mask with a horrible rubber band.
And you couldn't see out
You couldn't
of them.
see out of
And
it.
it
You
killed your
couldn't
hair.
talk. It pulled your hair out of the scalp, and you couldn't breathe because you start breathing and it would all like condense in the mask around your nose and mouth, and it smelled horribly because of that.
So what did you go as?
Spider-Man,
All right.
and I thought it was pretty cool. But it basically was a plastic costume with the front part of a Spider-Man, and the back was like all yellow with that tie-up shit in the back. And the mask, you couldn't even wear the mask after 5 minutes because of all the things we just talked about.
That's when you put it on top of your head.
Yeah,
and then
put it
you
on
look
top
down
of
at the
your head.
ground so your face looks there.
Yeah, and then you're like, I'm Spider-Man. You start doing moves, and like costume rips. The plastic underneath the arms and the crotch. Oh, wait a minute. Never mind.
The crotch rip for other reasons.
Spider-Man.
It was horrible.
Blake, those are meant for kids, not adults.
Blake got a lot of webbing.
Oh, by the way, that was last year.
Yeah, by the way.
Last year.
Blake had webbing everywhere.
Webbing.
If only he used plant.com.
I was shooting webs.
Tree.
That's
Or
what
true
it
to
was.
trees that, yep.
The plant is to hide your...
Curricular activity.
Tree is to hide your porn.
Yes.
And bush. never mind.
You know what bush is. It's a bush.
It's an add-on.
The bush add-on.
You pay a 99 cents extra, you get Barbara Bush on top of it. Hi!
She's dead.
It's popular. It's popular with Republicans.
I don't see why that's funny, Jason. Somebody's dead and he's over here laughing. You sick fuck.
What's your number 4?
Oh, my number 4, Rick Steiner.
He's dead.
No, he's
No,
not.
he's not.
I do remember you as Rick
Yeah,
Steiner.
it was Rick Steiner. Yeah, because we had a wrestling match, and you selling piece of crap.
So, we used to have these wrestling matches.
You wore a unitard?
Yeah,
He did. And we would have these wrestling matches at parties because we would actually have a belt. And Jim jumped up on my shoulders one time and said, "Hey, Frankensteiner," like he whispered it like a wrestler would. And I said, "Nope." And
No, you said okay. So then I, not on the fence, not on the ropes or anything. From my feet, I jumped up, put my feet on his shoulders, and went to go back to like, flip him over like the move the Frankensteiner. Instead, Jason caught my legs and pinned me.
Yes,
because he
I
is a
powerbommed him.
no-selling motherfucker.
I just want to let you know I won the championship that night.
And then I took it back the next day.
I don't remember that. Anyways, moving on.
Exactly. That's why you can't remember your costume either. I beat you in the head so much.
What was he dressed as that party?
No, Nick was Sweetness. The Gimp was Sweetness. John Wood was Chef.
I'll get to mine. I'll tell you what mine was in a second. Here we go. Moving on.
Let's see, my number 4. This was where I went to college. They have a big Halloween party every year. And, well, unfortunately, I also worked as an RA during college, so I didn't actually get to enjoy most of it, the Halloween party, most of the time when I was there. So after I graduated, I went back for a couple of years to enjoy the Halloween party. And one of those years I went back without any idea of what costume I was going to be. I said, I'll figure it out when I get down there. So the night before all the festivities, I decided I'm going to go as a bar wall. And every bar we went in, I was stealing signs off the bars, like all the, Bud Light signs and stuff, and just started pinning them all over myself. So I was a bar wall for Halloween.
It's number 3.
Actually, what you should have done was I'm a bar wall and have a blank piece of cardboard and con people into putting dollars on your wall and signing their names on it, and you would have made money at the end of the night.
Not where I went. If you had a blank piece of thing and you said, I'm a bar wall, someone will punch you.
Or start peeing on you?
No, they will try to break they will try to punch holes in the wall.
He said he was a bar wall, so I peed on him.
Okay. Well, because you led with that story with being an RA, I'm coming back as a drunk tenant. Who are you? I'm a drunk tenant drinking beer in your hallways, fucker.
No, I avoided going to the
resident
dorms.
halls?
Yeah,
He avoided him or, restraining order. Anyways, moving
I'm
on.
the drunk dorm resident.
What's your number 3?
my number 3. This was a costume that actually what I went as and what I ended up looking like were two different
I remember
things.
this one. This is awesome.
Yes. My intention was to dress up as Dexter from the TV show Dexter.
Yeah.
What'd you end up looking?
You couldn't find a corpse?
No. What did everyone think you were?
I mean, I even shaved my beard off for this costume or whatever. And then when the people started taking pictures, I looked at it and said, "Oh my God, I'm Peter Griffin dressed as Dexter." Yes. So that's my costume was Peter Griffin as
my
Dexter.
favorite. That was my favorite one. What's your number 3, Jim?
My number 3 has a 3 in it. 3-hole punch Jim.
How did you do that?
I did that last year. I took 3 black pieces. I wore a white shirt and with a tie, and I took 3 black pieces of felt and taped them on my chest like Jim Halpert in The Office.
I'll give you points for that one.
Good.
Blake, what's number 3?
I think scarred from my experiences as a young child, having to wear these cheap-ass plastic costumes, I actually bought a full Christopher Nolan Dark Knight Batman.
Wow.
Batman.
Yeah. And my wife went as Catwoman.
Ah.
Michelle Pfeiffer
wink, wink.
Catwoman?
Know what I mean?
Michelle Pfeiffer?
That's right.
Or Halle Berry?
Both.
It doesn't matter.
It didn't matter. Did it matter?
No.
Again, we're not talking about Halloween. This is just role play.
Yes.
Oh, wait a minute. This is Halloween. Hold on. No, that's what we did for Halloween.
The one time he dressed as Robin, she dressed as Joker, she beat him dead with a crowbar.
No, that's role play. Damn it.
I said bananas! The safe word is bananas!
He really got into the character.
Moving on. My number 3 is my least favorite costume. It was actually worn by my wife. It was Raggedy Ann because she dyed her hair red. Let me tell you, that doesn't come out of beds. It was annoying to get out of the sheets.
And you refused to go as Raggedy Andy, didn't you?
No, we were just dating at the time.
And you refused to go as Raggedy Andy.
I think we had different parties, and then we went to the bar afterward. Anyways, it was a horrible... I hated it. I hate any time you have dyed hair and all that stuff.
Here's another one on Jason's list. That isn't even him.
Correct. Tomato and onions is number 2. Danny McBride's number 1. I don't know. My number 2, one I went as a couple of years ago, about 10 years ago, Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Yes, I remember that.
Oh, yes. I remember you did go as Dog.
I had the vest with the sequins on it. I had the gun. I had the big blonde hair. That was my number 2. That was one of my favorite ones. So, Blake, what's your number 2? Robin?
I had to reach a little bit for this one, but I did remember this because it's kind of a memorable experience, right? So the rest of the world doesn't celebrate Halloween.
I didn't realize this.
You didn't realize this. I know.
Nikki advised me of this.
Yes, but it kind of reminded me. But they do dress up for Carnivale or Mardi Gras.
Yes.
Right? So that's kind of like... Yeah. So when I lived in Spain, of course, my Spanish friends, hey, we're going to Carnivale, and you have to dress up. And I'm like, I have nothing to dress up. So I had to pull something together. So I had this is weird. I still have this. I don't know why. I had a black beret. So back in the day, I thought berets were pretty cool. Well, I had a black turtleneck sweater.
Oh, dear God. I
had a marker.
You had a what?
A marker. And I had my book of Catcher in the Rye, and I decided I was going to go as a beatnik. So I had the beret. I put the little, goatee on my face, the soul patch, and the big black turtleneck, and I carried around my copy of Catcher in the Rye all night.
Just snap a lot?
Yeah, it didn't snap a lot. And so when I met all my Spanish friends, we're all going out, they're like, what the hell are you? I'm like, I'm a beatnik. And they're like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. Except for this one guy who's like, what are you? I'm like a poeta. I'm like a beatnik. And he's like, I don't get it. I said, that's right. I did not make a friend that evening. And for the entire night, that guy wanted to kick my ass.
I'll be honest, right now, so next year I kind of want to hit you with the crowbar. I'll be honest.
When you described the costume, I thought you were going to say you went as Dieter from Sprockets.
The dad that we dance.
I thought he was going to say he went as a French mime.
I was wondering why the Germans were screaming at me.
Didn't have time Sprockets, we were dance.
But I thought for originality, it was, on the spot, I thought I did all right. But apparently that one guy wanted to kick my ass.
Apparently Spanish culture doesn't get the terrible 50s American beatnik.
No.
Ironically, the one guy was Michael Stipe.
Yeah. I wasn't wearing mascara.
Oh, sorry. Jim, what's your number 2?
I hobied this one.
Oh, of course. I didn't even get 5, and you hobied it.
You didn't even get 3.
All from the Mind of French Theory.
So, pretty much, I let my beard grow out a few times. And one year I went as Jesus. Hair was kind of long.
Oh, okay.
I did that at the bar, and I was actually bartending.
Did you bring bread? I would have brought a loaf of bread and started breaking bread for everybody.
Everyone got free wine that night.
I was turning water into Jaeger.
Water into Jaeger.
Jim is like the Daniel Day-Lewis of Halloween costumes. He actually drilled holes in his hand.
And it would have been
I actually hammered my...
I would have been handing out fish as well all night.
Have a carp!
Have a carp! And then a few years before that, I don't know, Jeff might have this on his costume.
I don't, because I forgot about it.
Oh. I grew my beard out and everything. I went as the dude.
Oh, from Lebowski.
From Lebowski. And Jeff went as
Walter Solchick.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
I forgot about that one. I didn't have that on my
Which
list.
is ironic. This year you also went as Donatello or Raphael because you had another robe at the Comic Expo.
Yes. This year I'm going as Raphael.
I think you should. It's a very comfy robe. Jeff, what's number 2?
Let's see, my number 2. This was one of the years when I was in college. I actually got to experience the fun of the Halloween party. I went as the Tick's sidekick, Arthur.
Yeah.
Okay. Can see that.
Although having a big wings in a very tight street party
does not work well.
Yeah, it doesn't work too well.
What's your number 1?
My number 1 was the year that I went as Captain Lou Albano.
Yeah.
Do now remember that one.
I know there's pictures of that up attached to my Facebook.
I remember that one. I guess I could have just looked at that picture because I dressed as something that year.
Yeah, something. You were something. But I think I actually pulled off that look. I actually thought I looked like Captain Lou.
You did.
Well, you looked like Peter Griffin. In the
But the point wasn't.
Jim, what's your number 1?
My number 1, I did it when I was in college, and I was running cross country. I was in really good shape, so we got a ton of candy that year when we went trick-or-treating. Me and a couple of my college buddies went as women. Big breasted women, long hair, nice dresses, and so as we're going to these houses trick-or-treating, people are like on a bull. This guy's on a bullhorn, and he's like, "If you're in college, don't come to this house." As we're running up, he's like, If you're over 18, don't come to this house. He's like, if you go to Xavier, don't come to this house. As I get right into his face, he's like, if you have a beard, don't come to this house. I'm like, trick or treat. He just looked at me. I'm like, I know I'm not getting anything. I just had to come all the way up. Yeah, dressed as a woman with full beard. So
I saw that movie. It was called Sorority Girls. I love my giant. Good movie.
My Giant?
No, Sorority Girls or Boys. What was that movie?
Sorority Boys.
That was a good movie.
I thought you meant the movie My Giant.
Nobody ever wants my giant.
was that George Murison?
Yes, it was. Number one for you, Blake.
Cabbage George. Chicks dig it.
Yeah, my number one was the one I never wanted to do, but I got talked into it. And
Robin?
Once I got into it, no. Once I got into it, it actually went over really
Power
well.
Bottom?
It was the hit of the party. No, so my wife and her friend said, we got this idea, and said, you need to dress up as Robert Palmer.
Addicted to Love?
I said, yep. So I dressed up as Robert Palmer, got the suit and the tie and the hair and everything. And they dressed up as the backup dancers. And we walked in, and people were like, what are you? I would start going, your teeth sweat. I had a microphone with me. I started going into Addicted to Love. I would start singing like he did, and they would start moving and like they were behind him. Like, you know,
did one girl have a
couldn't
bass?
be borrow the bass. Yeah, we actually had a guitar, bass guitar. And everybody thought that was pretty
clever. I like
fucking
that
awesome.
one.
And I was completely against it because I hate dressing up for Halloween. But once they got me into it, I started having fun, and it was pretty awesome.
Much better than your beatnik one.
Yeah.
My number one.
I just don't get it.
Much better than anything Jason.
See? God sees you. You're choking to death. See? I'm not going to save you. Anyways, my number one, Chris Jericho. I dressed with the big silver shirt. I had the big wig, which I used the wig the following year for Dog the Bounty Hunter. And so I was Chris Jericho. That's who I won the championship with that night when Jim was Rick Steiner. So yes, I was Chris Jericho, the greatest wrestler of all time. So that was my number one.
I still think that count was too quick.
Well, you know what? Tough shit.
Because you paid off the ref, the ref too.
Honorable mentions. I had two.
How do you have honorable mention and not have a number 5?
Yeah.
Kevin James. He dressed when I dressed as Kevin James at Comic Expo.
No, it doesn't count.
No. doesn't count.
And my other it's my list. Honorable mention. The only one I remember as a kid was I was Dracula, and I had makeup and everything. And the reason why it's honorable mention is because I hated it so much because I had the fake teeth in there, and the makeup was running because it was the pale and all that, and I hated it so much. I went back home halfway through the night and picked up the old Halloween mask that you're bitching about, Blake, and I was Frankenstein's monster.
There you go.
So that's my honorable mention.
Mm-hmm.
I've got an honorable mention, and I'm disappointed it wasn't on your list.
What's that?
Well, the one year that we went with a group costume, you, me, and our friend Kevin.
Oh, Carney, we were Wilson Phillips.
Wilson Phillips.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
The problem was we all were Carney.
Yeah. I forgot about that as Wilson Phillips.
That was pretty funny. You know, as a kind of a sub.
And no, I didn't shave for that one.
No.
You were Carney. You didn't have to shave.
No.
Oh, and if our listeners don't know that the band used to be called Wilson Phillips Now until they kicked Jeff and I out of the band.
And stole all our songs.
Stole all of our songs. Jeff refused to sleep with Carney because he walked into the dressing room one time and she was actually sitting there eating a can of Crisco. Butter-flavored Crisco, though.
Please send your complaints to Jim at Graphic Novice. Please wrap this up.
But it's kind of like an honorable side show kind of step. It is kind of interesting having lived overseas for so many years, and as the internet expands and cultural awareness and all that kind of comes around, it would be pretty funny during Halloween. All of a sudden, if there are concentrations of Americans, in the area, we would still do trick or treat Halloween, with kids and everybody, and so it was kind of funny. So the local kids learned that on October 31st, you run and you bring the doorbells to all the American homes, and they gave you candy. It was such a foreign concept to them. They thought it was the greatest thing. And they wouldn't even dress up for it. They just said, hey, you go knock into the Americans' houses, they're handing out candy. I'd be at my friend's house because I wasn't married at the time. Yeah, the kids open up, the doorbell rings, you open it up, and there'd be like the local kids staying in their regular clothes with like pillow sacks.
Did they at least say trick or treat?
No, they didn't know what was going on. They just know, hey, go knock on the Americans' doors. They're going to give you candy.
They were dressed as dirty
foreigners. Dressed as dirty foreigners.
That's right. Kids and razor blades.
I think that was the costume I had at my number 5. What dirty foreigner.
I was handing out green cards.
Anyway, so we had some listener feedback.
But no, it makes for a funny story because they had no idea what was going on. They say just go to the American. So you get 18-year-old guys and girls like, here you go. You're like, whatever.
Here's a ham radio. Pennies.
Blue jeans.
Brent from Blue Jeans.
Levies.
Brent from Home Video also had a couple. He had back when episode 1 of Star Wars was new. I dressed up as Darth Maul and kept accidentally hitting people with the double-bladed lightsaber because I could barely see out of the mask. Nikki says we don't do Halloween, but I have attended costume parties and was Hermione. Is that correct?
Hermione?
Yeah, Hermione. He pronounced tough word.
We just finished reading the book to my son. The first one. Velma and
your
Silent
son taught
Bob.
you how to say it.
Yes. Velma and Silent Bob. Dev! Oh, we miss Dev. He hasn't responded lately.
He just did.
There you go.
Thanks, Dev.
He had Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. It was a weird time in 6th grade, he said.
In 6th grade.
T-Rex made from a plastic inflatable punching toy. I was cool before the internet. Ickis. Real monsters. He said homemade, and my sister was Oblina.
Okay.
Rodney Farva, underage drinkers at a Halloween party, actually thought the cops were there. I want a large Farva.
That was awesome.
I want a liter of cola.
Chippendale Dancer, because I love the Chris Farley skit. Well done, Dad. Honorable mention, the Noid. The pictures haunt my dreams. Casper the Friendly Ghost, and Death.
Casper?
Yes.
You mean Casper?
Yes. Casper.
I like Casper the Friendly Ghost. It's kind of like the
lesser known cousin.
The what do you call it?
The GoBot.
Chinese.
The Chinese ripoff.
The Dip Man. He had the He-Man old school costume that you were talking about,
Blake.
Blake.
Horrible.
Store-bought. Samantha Vaughn. She just responded. Just put this in here. The TARDIS. Made my own police box. Windows. Call instructions, St. John's ambulance plus key slot, fabric iron-arms.
Iron-ons?
Thank you.
Iron-ons.
I attached them to a blue sheath dress, spray painted my hair blue, and rigged up a circular LED camping light in blue casing on a headband.
That's awesome.
This was before you could buy a TARDIS dress and light anyhow. That sucks, but that's a very good costume, but that sucks that now you can just buy one.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh nerd, Sean. Homemade Batman costume. My grandmother made it, and it was amazing. Jerry
Grandma.
I like this one. Jerry Glanville, the old coach.
On purpose?
He was Toga. That was from Mystery Science Theater.
Oh, okay.
Eric Draven from The Crow. Yes, I was too fat, but I found a way to pull it off.
You're never too fat to go as the Crow.
Speaking of Mystery Science Theater, I'll be seeing that tomorrow night in Cincinnati. A-Pans and I are going to the show.
Oh, I'm jealous.
Thanks for the invite.
My wife.
Why didn't you remind me?
My wife bought me tickets for Father's Day.
Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, thanks, Jason.
Yeah.
Can yell at my wife.
Thanks, Jason's wife.
Thanks.
She has a crowbar though, so be careful.
Yeah.
Number 1, Darth Vader, the plastic suit with the shiny plastic mask in the 70s.
That's a shitty plastic mask.
Shitty plastic mask.
Kevin at Cincy Explorer. A devil was the costume during my first Halloween. A pumpkin costume during 1st grade. 3, wearing a name tag with Dave on it. See The Office for understanding. Number 2, a car shop Elvis impersonator.
Who are you, Dave?
Number 1, Bush versus Gore. I can explain the details if wanted.
I don't think we want.
Nope. Change approved.
Change approved. So there you go. There's your top 5 for this year, or for this week. I think that's all. Bad idea of the week.
Bad idea of the week, number 182. Coming up with an idea for top 5 when you only have 2.
I had 3. 4.
You had 2.
Of your own?
You had your wife and your son's costumes when that was not.
But I did have 2 honorable mentions. Just saying. I'm just saying. I'll go with that, Jeff. Well done. Well done. Stupid thing. Anyways, thanks for listening, everybody. And Roger says goodbye.
Goodbye.
Walking Dead to Talking Heads, from comic books to TV sets. There's a history, it's not so bad. There's the history. It's the history of bad, so bad. The history of bad, it's bad. The history of bad ideas. Podcast.
Addendum. iTunes is cracking down on podcasts. We gotta be careful on this. I got
censorship.
I got I Am Blech.
I am black.
Black.
I got Where's Black? I got Hide Your Masturbatory Fantasies.
He just did that just for fun.
Hey, we'll really get kicked off at Apple's.
I got The Bush add-on. I got Get the Tree app.
That would not be allowed because we're promoting.
Okay.
It's not a real app.
It doesn't matter.
And Billy Goat Jerky.
Ooh, Billy Goat Jerky sounds good. I got Jeff tried to eat me.
That's not even true.
Change approved. So I like Where's Black? Or I Am Blech.
I am black.
Kind of like I Am Sam.
Sam, I am.
So how are you spelling Blech?
BLEC.
Okay.
H.
BLEAK. No, that'd be bleak.
BLECH, BLEK.
BLECHE.
Black. E.
Black.
Black.
You gotta get the.
Black. BLECH, change approved.
All right. I am black.
BLECH.
Yeah, B apostrophe L.
There's a silent Q in there.
I'm sorry, what is it? What are we doing?
Just BLACH.
BLECH.
Or BLECH.
Okay, now you're just screwing me up. I'm just doing my own.
BLECH.
Okay, thank you. Bleach.
No A.
Change approved.
You've been listening to Hobie.